Hey Bougie click. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into a thought-provoking topic that challenges the very foundations of modern relationships. You are the ultimate prize, destiny swapping in relationships. As societal dynamics evolve, traditional gender roles are being redefined, sparking a conversation around the perception of women as the prize. We'll explore how this notion is influenced by cultural and biblical perspectives, while also examining the emerging trend of destiny swapping, where men seek to assume the role of the prize. Join me as we unpack the implications of this shift, discussing everything from emotional and economic impacts to the effects on children and family dynamics. It's a complex landscape, and understanding it is crucial for fostering healthy relationships. So, grab a seat, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started on this enlightening journey. You are the ultimate prize, destiny swapping in relationships. In contemporary society, the dynamics of gender roles and relationships continue to evolve. However, the concept of women as the prize remains a relevant and significant notion. This perspective is not only supported by societal norms but also deeply rooted in religious texts such as the Bible. The verse from Proverbs 18 verse 22 states, "Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord." This encapsulates the idea, emphasizing the esteemed value of women in both spiritual and worldly contexts. In recent years, a significant transformation in relationships has emerged, with the notion of destiny swapping presenting considerable risks. This trend entails a reversal of conventional gender roles, where men begin to see themselves as the prize in relationships. Although this shift may appear progressive at first glance, it has deep consequences that can destabilize equality within partnerships. Women frequently shoulder the burdens of financial, emotional, and domestic duties, resulting in imbalances and feelings of resentment. The selective amnesia of biblical convenience. In discussions about submission and obedience, some men are quick to invoke biblical teachings to bolster their authority, often citing verses that emphasize a woman's duty to submit to her husband. This selective recall, however, conveniently overlooks the many passages that instruct men to love, honor, and cherish their wives. Ephesians 5 verse 25, for instance, calls on husbands to love their wives as Christ loved the church, a profound, selfless love that demands sacrifice and respect. Yet, these teachings are frequently ignored or forgotten, revealing a tendency toward selective amnesia. This cherry-picking approach not only undermines the holistic message of the Bible but also suggests that these men may not have fully engaged with its teachings. Such a skewed interpretation fails to foster the mutual respect and equality that are foundational to healthy, balanced relationships. Men are deliberately twisting the message. You can't claim to follow the teachings if you've only read the parts that suit you. Relationships are built on mutual respect and equality, not one-sided dominance. Time to step up, fellas. The pursuit of women, societal reflections. In modern society, the idea of women as the prize manifests in various ways. Traditionally, men have been seen as pursuers in romantic relationships, often going to great lengths to win the affection of their female counterparts. This dynamic can be viewed as a reflection of the high regard in which women are held. The social construct of courtship, where men demonstrate their worthiness, is a testament to the perceived value of women. This is evident in cultural practices such as proposing with an engagement ring or the tradition of men asking for a woman's hand in marriage, symbolizing respect and the acknowledgement of her intrinsic worth. The nostalgia of traditional gender roles. Many men often romanticize the image of grandmothers and the women of previous generations, admiring their demeanor, strength, and dedication to family. They frequently bring up these ideals in discussions, longing for women who embody such traditional values. However, there is a selective amnesia at play once again, as they overlook the expectations placed on men of that era. In those days, a man was expected to have his life in order before marriage, being financially capable of supporting a wife and children. Fathers would not entrust their daughters to a man who couldn't provide for her or protect her. Today, some men desire women who are both traditional and modern, wanting them to uphold past values while also navigating contemporary challenges. This expectation often allows men to avoid fulfilling their traditional roles, leading to an imbalance where women are pressured to bridge the gap, embodying both roles without reciprocal effort from their partners. Destiny swapping, a shift in gender roles? In recent years, there has been a notable shift in traditional gender roles, often referred to as destiny swapping. While destiny swapping is a huge topic, it is rarely discussed in the context of relationships. This term suggests that men and women are exchanging roles, with women increasingly taking on responsibilities traditionally associated with men. While this shift seemingly promotes gender equality, it also raises questions about the implications of who the prize is exactly. The dynamics of these changing roles are rarely discussed in depth, yet they are profoundly real. Men jokingly coined the phrase drizzle in playful response to the more popular sprinkle, which is often used in discussions about women and empowerment. However, with the way modern men are acting and adapting to these shifts, one can't help but wonder whether this playful banter is masking deeper insecurities or reflections on their evolving identities. As men navigate this new landscape, the joking nature of drizzle might reveal an evil plan to switch places with women and abandon their responsibilities. Men want to redefine their roles in relationships. However, we must ask why. Men are now asking for child support forgiveness. So not only do they not want to take care of women, but now they want to abandon the children they already abandoned physically, financially. The dialogue surrounding these changes is essential, as it helps illuminate the challenges that arise from this destiny swapping, ultimately leading to an understanding of modern men. As women gain more autonomy and assertiveness, the dynamics of relationships are evolving. Men are now more willing to embrace roles that were once considered feminine, such as being stay-at-home parents or pursuing careers in fields traditionally dominated by women. This shift can be seen as an attempt by men to align themselves with the qualities that have historically made women the prize: compassion, empathy, and nurturing, but it's not. Men believe that women have it easy, so in turn, they want to switch places so that women have it hard. Modern men want to punish women, and they hide it behind being feminist allies. The unpopular opinion on male feminists. While it may be an unpopular opinion, male feminists often present themselves as allies, yet some may harbor ulterior motives. These individuals sometimes exploit the narrative of male chauvinism as a tool, suggesting that women should assume traditionally male roles to demonstrate equality. They might point to biblical interpretations of women's oppression, positioning themselves as good men who are better than their counterparts. However, a truly good man provides and leads without oppressing his wife or children, fostering a partnership based on mutual respect and support. The notion of a 50-50 relationship, where both partners equally share responsibilities and financial burdens, can be misleading. In practice, it often results in women shouldering more than their fair share of the workload, both inside and outside the home. It's essential to recognize this dynamic and strive for genuine equity, rather than a facade of fairness. Alongside this evolution, there is an emerging trend where some men express a desire to be treated like women, seeking care and support rather than assuming the role of traditional providers. This shift reflects a broader societal change where men are increasingly comfortable with vulnerability and dependency. They often seek relationships where they can be nurtured and cared for, desiring a dynamic where their partners take on the primary role of provider, emotionally and materially. Interestingly, while many men are seeking this kind of treatment, they may not want to fully embrace more feminine roles associated with caregiving or domestic responsibilities themselves. Instead, there appears to be a tendency for some men to want to enjoy the benefits of being cared for without necessarily contributing equally to household or emotional labor. This can create a paradox where they seek the comfort and attention typically given to women but hesitate to share the responsibilities that come with it. In this evolving landscape, some men might find themselves wanting to be waited on hand and foot, reminiscent of a childhood experience where their needs were prioritized without the expectation of reciprocation. This desire can lead to tension within relationships, as women who have fought for equality and autonomy may feel burdened by the expectation to take on all the responsibilities while their partners enjoy a more passive role. Reimagining the prize, men's desire for recognition. In contemporary times, the traditional view of women as the prize is being challenged by a growing number of men who now seek the same recognition and care. This shift stands in stark contrast to biblical teachings, such as Proverbs 18 verse 22, which celebrates the finding of a wife as a divine favor. Moreover, the biblical narrative of Adam and Eve illustrates God presenting Eve to Adam, entrusting him to cherish her as a precious gift. This responsibility was meant to demonstrate not only care but also an acknowledgement of her intrinsic value. However, today, some men desire to redefine this dynamic, aspiring to be seen as the prize themselves. This shift emphasizes men's departure from traditional gender roles as they seek to exchange places with women. Biblical guidance on marital roles. The Bible provides clear guidance on how a husband should treat his wife, emphasizing love, respect, and protection. Ephesians 5 verse 25 instructs husbands to love their wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. This reflects a deep, sacrificial love that prioritizes the well-being and happiness of one's partner. Yet, as men increasingly seek to be the prize, it raises questions about how they reconcile this desire with biblical teachings. These teachings advocate for a balance where men are called to be providers and protectors, ensuring their wives are cherished and valued. These dynamics raises critical questions about balance and equity in modern relationships. If men desire to be cared for while avoiding traditional feminine roles, how do couples negotiate these expectations? How does this affect the evolving understanding of partnership, where both individuals contribute to the relationship in ways that feel fair and fulfilling? Shifting traditional roles. Traditionally, men have been viewed as the providers and protectors in relationships, a role that has been deeply embedded in societal norms for centuries. However, as gender roles begin to shift, some men are attempting to turn these expectations on their heads, seeking to become the primary recipients of affection, support, and resources. While the pursuit of gender equality is important, this reversal can lead to negative consequences, undermining the foundational dynamics of relationships and creating confusion about roles and responsibilities. This trend raises concerns about entitlement and dependency, potentially straining partnerships and fostering resentment. Economic implications. One of the most significant impacts of men becoming the prize in relationships is the economic burden it places on women. When men relinquish their roles as providers, women are left to fill the gap, often taking on the dual responsibilities of earning income and managing household duties. This shift can lead to financial strain, especially in single-income households where women are the primary or sole earners. The added stress of balancing work and family life can have detrimental effects on women's well-being and career progression. Emotional and psychological impact. The emotional and psychological toll of this dynamic cannot be overlooked. Women who are expected to provide for and protect their families may experience increased levels of stress, anxiety, and burnout. The pressure to fulfill multiple roles can lead to feelings of inadequacy and resentment, especially if their efforts are not reciprocated or appreciated. Additionally, the shift in dynamics can undermine women's sense of security and stability in their relationships. Impact on children. Children are also affected by this shift in relationship dynamics. When women are solely responsible for providing and protecting the family, children may miss out on the benefits of a balanced parental involvement. The absence of a strong male role model can impact children's development and perception of gender roles. Furthermore, the stress and strain on the primary caregiver can affect the overall well-being and stability of the family unit. The deceptive nature of destiny swapping. Destiny swapping is akin to the biblical story of Jacob and Esau, where Esau was tricked out of his birthright. Initially, it seems unjust that Esau, the victim, faced God's disappointment. However, upon reflection, the lesson becomes clear. In contemporary relationships, women may find themselves in a similar predicament, being subtly tricked out of their God-given roles and worth. By ignoring divine guidance and instead heeding the misleading voices of unrighteous men and societal pressures, women risk relinquishing their rightful place of honor. This is not just a personal loss but also a disregard for the value that God has placed on them. When women find themselves overworked and overwhelmed, crying out for relief, it becomes evident that failing to heed God's wisdom leads to such predicaments. It is a reminder to trust in divine truth, recognizing and holding firmly to the inherent worth bestowed upon them. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's take a moment to reflect on the dangers of destiny swapping in relationships. While the idea of shifting gender roles may seem progressive, it can inadvertently lead to confusion and imbalance. When traditional roles are exchanged, such as men positioning themselves as the prize, it often places an undue burden on women who are stepping into roles as providers and protectors. This can strain emotional, economic, and psychological well-being, ultimately impacting families and society at large. Moreover, this trend raises critical concerns about balance and equity in partnerships. It's vital for couples to communicate openly and negotiate their roles in a way that promotes mutual respect and support. Remember, the essence of a healthy relationship lies in recognizing and valuing each other's worth, regardless of who takes on which role. As we navigate these changing dynamics, let's be mindful of the importance of love, respect, and sacrifice that have always been the foundation of strong partnerships. So, let's strive to create an environment where both partners can thrive, ensuring that the integrity of our relationships remains intact despite the shifting societal landscape. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on relationships and personal growth. What do you think? Are men destiny swapping with women? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.